Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I'm going to do a really quick message first, and then I'll go through all the details because it's really important to get out there. I'm getting Munchausen syndrome really strongly for the Divine Masculine, so obviously this is only for a few people, but it was important enough to get out there. I was getting it very strongly. There are lots of different scenarios going on with the Divine Masculine. Some are literally Munchausen, so there may be a karmic who's actually poisoning the Divine Masculine, or a father, or a brother, even children. So if anyone suspects anything like that, make sure you intervene. And I was literally getting to have a liver panel test done and BUN, okay, literally. And I'll get into the details of that at the end when I get to that part of the read. But literally I was getting it for the Divine Masculine to get, and it might be someone who's an alcoholic as well. So there's different scenarios, but one of them was Munchausen, so I wanted to make sure that got out there right away to get liver panels and BUN tests done to make sure everything's okay. And of course that covers for alcoholism as well. So what was coming up first was for the Divine Feminine. And also just really quickly from yesterday, I ended up watching Fun Mom Dinner. So there may actually be karmics who have been tempted to or just cheated on the Divine Masculine. So that might be coming up as well. And the number 13. So death is coming up, and I had the transition card or the portal card like several days in a row. And then, I don't have it up here, but the theme continues. So we're going through this big portal. There's definitely things happening, closing out. It's very stressful energy. I woke up with pain all in my chest and lungs, and it might have just been like a gastritis feeling, but I wasn't getting it was from me mainly. I was getting it from my twins, so hopefully there's no heart issues or things like that going on. But it sounds like that stuff is coming up because I got hospital stuff, I got rehab stuff, I got jail stuff, and I got death stuff. So just be aware that that energy is out there, and that I was just getting a lot that the Divine Masculine, whatever he's been carrying, all the burdens, what people have expected of him. I was getting things like being responsible for 10 people in the family. Also curtains, gold, red, and white silk curtains were coming up as someone going to miss them or something, and then broken curtains came up as well. And bar none, and an alcoholic brother as well, and 10 hoorays. This was yesterday. That the Divine Masculine was dreaming of that the rain of blessings will come. And the Divine Masculine been trying to sidestep emotions that they can't cheat through. They have to actually experience this journey. They were trying to avoid some things. So then we get into today, and like the common theme, the Devil's been coming up, Justice has been coming up, the Magician's been coming up, the Chariot's been coming up. So someone's moving or traveling or ascending, okay, so that's been coming up a lot too. And the Sun, so complete exposure of everything. Going into the Divine Feminine first. This morning, and today is the 17th of August. So 17 is the star energy, so it's all about dreams coming true, but also of healing, and also can be Aquarian energy. The day adds up to 36-9, which is the 10 of Wands, okay? So it's about dropping those burdens. And I was literally getting the Divine Masculine literally falling over, weak. So he's either weak or someone's doing something to him, okay? So there's obviously most people aren't getting poisoned, but there's someone out there who is. So I want to make sure this gets out there. The Star and the 10 of Wands. So huge burdens, to be, maybe you're in the limelight, and it's been a huge burden in this energy, and it has to fall. You're at the 10 of Wands, you're going to fall over. You can't hold those burdens forever. You're either going to get sick, and it was just 444. You're going to get sick or literally drop dead. So it's about, the Divine Masculine learning to love themselves first, mainly today. but also for all of us not to carry so much burden, you know, to take breaks for yourself when you need it. Yeah, so this morning when I woke up, it was like, and I have never felt that before, and it's kind of like gastritis, but I've never, someone might have GERD, you know, GERD, so reflux disease, or may have been drinking and it caused some unusual reflux, which this kind of diffusely felt like that prickly pain all across the lungs and the heart and into the stomach a little bit. So it definitely sounds like it could be GERD, but it could be heart issues as well. And also liver and kidney function issues were coming up. So I was getting a mother to the if, like, you know, like a great mother is it's like the fire's being put out, like dousing a fire. The tango is gone, like the dance that the mother. So somebody might be losing someone, and just fires are, you know, being doused. So that it's just that energy. It doesn't have to be a death, but it can be as well. Also, I was getting a math tutor who has no tango. All right, so they have, you know, they can't dance, I guess. But I was getting specifically a math tutor, so that was interesting. And then I got Candle in the Wind. And also something strange, AM at Heathrow to put out the flames. So I don't know what that's about. And I would never think of Heathrow, so that was really interesting. For the Divine Feminine's perspective. And I first connected energetically this morning at 8:13. So the King of Swords energy is out laying their swords down. And it's funny because now, even if I do a read for the Divine Feminine or read for the Divine Masculine, it still comes up all about the Divine Masculine, because the Divine Feminine, obviously, in her read, is going to want to know about the Masculine, so that's what comes up in the Divine Feminine read. And then the Divine Masculine wants to also know about the Divine Masculine. So it's kind of comedic. So I'm getting a lot of information about the Divine Masculine. So it's not because I'm avoiding the Divine Feminine. It's what's coming up between the two energies. So the King of Swords is laying down swords, but keeping one to lean on. So a little bit of truth to lean on and coming together in joy, trying to figure out how to do that, hiding the truth of the green and magenta of the twin flames. So holding his wand intently, the wand was in the right hand, the world in the left hand, aligning with crystal wands and red hearts, which is interesting because I never noticed this in this card before, but I was watching a Luna yesterday and she was showing in her tag picture a crystal wand on her cards, and I'd never, you know, paid attention to something like that before. And then this morning I literally saw one of those little crystal wands in the card, and another wand with like a black heart on it crossing it. So it was interesting because I never noticed that little piece there before. But this is what I was picking up on. It was like the Divine Masculine's trying to align with his spirituality, but someone with a dark heart is blocking him. Okay? And also is coming out as whether the Divine Masculine is this or not, a whistleblower. Being the whistleblower in faith, like having been afraid to do this before, but being a whistleblower. And then I got cross my heart and hope to die, and I got taking an oath as well. Stressed and stress showing, and like I said, crossed by a mostly black heart. And then I was also getting necrosis, so someone might have a necrotic heart. They might have some problems with their arteries, which would explain chest pain as well. But it could be necrotic tissue anywhere coming up. Getting the wounded warrior, so he could physically be wounded. So someone definitely could be in the hospital. Very unhappy and unable to keep up the dance or the fire. And then I got the night the lights went out in Georgia. And then I was blind, but now I see. And then I took the fall, the scapegoat. So all of these different scenarios are happening to different Divine Masculines. Getting to know each other, though. Then I got again, the King and Queen went back to the green. And green, emphasis, because that's the heart. So the King and Queen went back to the green, but they can never go back there at all. So there might be a Divine masculine who went back to the karmic to try again, whatever the situation is, whether it's for the kids or whatever, but you just can't go back because it's not going to work anymore. It was coming up as the Emperor longing for the Divine Feminine to surprise her with 2 tickets to paradise. That the Divine Feminine has the keys to the 5th dimension, and nature comes up to allow things to happen naturally. The Emperor's been out of control. I got chills, they're multiplying. So I know it's a funny, good message, but it's also a negative message because it could literally have to do with people going through withdrawal and rehab, in the hospital with chills, okay? Or someone poisoning them. So there's these different scenarios. Also, I was getting prison and death. So not for necessarily for the Divine Masculine. It could be a father figure that was coming up. That'll come up in a minute. So leading the way to come together in the physical, carefully planning what to say now he's recovered financially. So recently there's a King of Cups energy, nicely disconnecting from the masculine's 3D life, but still spinning it in the 5D. So like the Divine Master is dealing with, on the right side of him, dealing with his 3D stuff, but on the left side he's still spinning in the 5D and in faith, okay? The number 22 and 2 came up. 2 and 22. And the Sun, the Chariot, the Abundance card, which is the Empress, and the Guidance card, which is the Hierophant card. This for the Divine Feminine. King of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Swords, and King of Wands were the main characters. And 4 swords and 3 wands. So there were no cups and no pentacles involved in the Divine Feminine read this morning. So the foundation for the Divine Feminine was the impatience of the King of Swords, or the Divine Masculine energy, not in his truth, traveling to get to know each other. The central sun is illuminating an offer of confession or rejection after losing sovereignty of being in the truth. So there's a challenge for the Divine Feminine of excitement after getting no attention. So there could be Divine Feminine in a marriage getting no attention, or it could reference the Divine Masculine's marriage, so not have gotten any attention in the marriage for Divine Masculine as well. Having left behind independence, or someone else who has their own money, having left behind the Divine Feminine for the Masculine, and now regretting it. So there could be multiple scenarios in that, depending on if you're a Divine Feminine who's still in their karmic relationship and the Divine Masculine's karmic relationship are all intertwined in this. So the Knight of Swords, so there's the energy of wanting to send messages in the 5D, coming to expose the truth about toying with the Divine Feminine, causing the separation and the third-party situation. So the Divine Masculine wanting to come forward and talk about it. He's offering to clean up the mess and start over, to kiss it and make it better, which came up yesterday. So this is actually the Divine Masculine coming out and saying, it's him saying that. To open his heart to faith and joy, still learning about intuition and their abilities, but struggling without a sex life. Soon, there was an Empress energy that opens their heart. So in this deck, it's the Abundance card. So it's all about abundance, so it doesn't have to be a character. But abundance comes in after depression of heartbreak by the King of Pentacles reverse, so not moving forward, being blocked, or just being still, not working, wanting to find peace. So there may be some Divine Masculines out of work now too, so they're losing money because they've been injured and they can't work or whatever, or sick. So, but I was also getting, in some scenarios, the karmics are like putting their sexuality out there, like if they're broken up but they're living together, the karmic is like walking around naked and doing stuff like that to torture the Divine Masculine on purpose, and knowing that it's torturing the Divine Feminine as well, because if he gets aroused, the Divine Feminine is going to feel it too. So the karmics are doing this on purpose, not wanting to but it's stressing him out because he doesn't want to feel aroused by this. The karmic being sexual on purpose, strutting around, showing off, admiring herself, very conceited. So Divine Feminine is finding peace, dropping the burdens of maybe kids they've been dealing with, who have their ups and downs, and maybe their inner child as well, their own innocence and negative self-talk. The Romance Angel cards that were coming up, retreat, unrequited love, very soon. Around the Divine Feminine, the twins are manifesting union, clearing blocks of, and also American Indians were coming up. So there may be some blocks about this, and shamanism. So anyone who may have blocks because of their religion or whatever it is, may need this stuff to come up. Also, the man of passion energy, after speaking their truth but not expressing feelings of unrequited love. So some of the Divine Masculines may have spoken some words but never expressed their feelings, not truthfully anyway. So domestic harmony was coming up to kind of get things in order with your family and your home, spiritual career, and your individuality. Make sure you stay yourself and make an effort on your spiritual daily habits, that kind of thing. So new life, including sex, lighting a fire with the twin, reminded of the suffering of the 3D illusions, like the 3D, like actually I was getting online services like LinkedIn and Facebook, and the excitement of being awake, aware, and present for our dance without tears, twins ending pain and manifesting indigo child. So that could be the twin, but it could also be manifesting a child in an explosion with the Queen of Cups. So it was literally showing coming together for some, with sex, marriage, and the Magician and the Queen of Cups and the Tower. And then I was getting that 16, 32, 64, showing, because the Tower 16 and the 10 of Swords 64 came up right next to each other, with the 32, which is the 6 of Wands, the leading and getting attention card right next to it. So the King of Swords is moving to find peace with their flame, in their knowing, exposed, excited to speak to a mother and a brother I was getting, the truth of the marriage he's been hiding behind. So the King of Swords is ascending so that the Divine Feminine can find peace, with the twin flame in knowing, exposed to excitement, abundance of his passion, and speaking truth about marriages and children, that kind of stuff. So now for the Divine Masculine real quick, because I want to get out this information that was coming up about the Divine Masculine, very important, and this was at 10:33. The Divine Feminine was at, if you're interested, I started that at 7:47. It was like 8:01 I wrote down for the Divine Feminine. And the Divine Masculine was 10:17 to 10:33. So in the codes I was getting literally alcoholic, an alcoholic fool. I was also getting an alcoholic foe. So there are going to be different scenarios. Some of you may have more than one of these scenarios, but they're really about the different Divine Masculine scenarios that may be going on right now. So very much so I was getting support. I was getting mass abundance for some, and that will have to do with maybe an alcoholic fool. And or it might be an alcoholic in the family, but mass abundance is coming in, so it's helping the Divine Masculine. And things about changing urgent need for something is coming up with this message, and forgiveness. So besides the alcoholism, let's see, I was literally getting ALKPHOS, which is a liver panel test. So I was getting someone needs to have their liver functions tested, as well as their BUN and creatinine, okay, because they were both coming up. And I've talked about this before with abundance. It's like abundance, like we relate that to the twins. The BUN measures what's being flushed through the kidneys, right? So it's kind of like it's the purging process. So it's relating abundance to exactly to the twin flame process. But it's literally coming in up as lab tests, because I got ALKPHOS specifically, and then right next to it was abundance. So it's about the BUN, which has to do with the kidney functions. So so an alcoholic might need their labs done, as well as, like I said, the Munchausen was coming up. So it might be proof that someone's been trying to poison them. So very important, and it may not just be alcohol, it could be drugs or whatever, but someone's kidney function or kidney function is off and needs to be tested. Okay, and there's definitely alcoholism coming up here. Also Alka-Seltzer for the GERD, like someone needs Alka-Seltzer. Maybe someone has a mass as well, to support a mass. Maybe someone has a hiatal hernia issue. So it may feel like a mass when you're swallowing, because things are getting stuck, because I know my son has the hiatal hernia, and I actually have been getting a little bit of that lately too, just because of my age. But so someone might be getting GERD, and someone with reflux, you can't eat food close to bedtime because it's going to come up and that kind of stuff. And by the way, I wanted to bring up organic aloe oil because that's really soothing, and it's great to have this organic aloe oil because you can use it on your skin. You can use it for lotion, put on your skin. It stains everything, but it's really healing of your skin and moisturizing. And you can use it in your hair, but you can also drink it because it's organic aloe oil, just the oil. But the oil will coat the esophagus, so if there's any acids that come up from the stomach, which is what causes cancer in the esophagus, the aloe oil will coat it and soothe it and heal it, just like it does to the skin on the outside. And you can't take a lot of it, so it's just like a little bit a day if you need it. But that definitely helps. But some Alka-Seltzer was definitely coming up, and maybe a mass to support a mass. And it could be literally a mass, a cancerous mass too for some, but and this doesn't have to do with the Divine Masculine or Feminine. It could be someone around them, family, a friend, that kind of thing. So it's coming up as an energy. But someone needs to have their kidney and liver functions tested. So very important. I can't stress that enough. And then also got a nickname of Vivi. So if that means anything to anyone, Vivi. So it could be short for Vivian or whatever. It doesn't have to be. So for the Divine Masculine, was getting, and also I felt a pinch in my earlobe, like right inside, but underneath the crease of the earlobe. And that was at, I wrote down the time. Where did I just read that? Oh, at 10:37 this morning. I felt that in my right ear. 10:37. It was the same type of pinch that I felt in the top of my ear the other day when I told you, and also the pinch I felt in the tip of my toe when I got that message. It's just like a sharp pain just for a second. All right, so attention from their flame for the Divine Masculine after they've been out of control with lies or a split or not feeling well or all three, alchemizing. So that's for the Divine Masculine. The Emperor, there's an Emperor, which could be the Divine Masculine, it could also be a boss or a father figure, is watching that no one cuts corners. It's also someone just kind of sneaking up watching people when they don't know they're watching, but also that they're watching that no one cuts corners as a gate opens wide open to the sea on shaky ground, constantly changing position or vacillating or oscillating. So it's getting several different scenarios. And excited to be on dry land once again, coming ashore, excited to pay attention after drying out. So there could be shakes of withdrawal as well as just vacillating about making up their mind. But it could be some Divine Masculines out on a boat at sea, literally. But some are, like I said, in hospitals, rehabs, prison, but it could be Divine Masculine or a father was coming up. Because there was actually a page and a father. So it's either the Divine Masculine and his children coming to visit him, or the Divine Masculine going to visit a father or a father-in-law or a father figure type person. Okay? It's either in the hospital, in a rehab, in a prison, or we visit a father who died. Someone who died and a Divine Masculine might have had a heart attack or something and died for a moment, visited their father and then came back. So all of these scenarios are coming up for the Divine Masculine. And they were all very clear and very important. So, and again, the shakes of withdrawal, the vacillating, and they just could be shaking from being so weak because they're just doing too much. They're not eating and they're not drinking, and the Divine Feminine understands all about that because, we've been through that, no appetite and not sleeping stuff. So that maybe happened to the Divine Masculine, but with him running around as much as he's been, his body's just going to give out. And I was also getting passed through the pearly gates, saw Father and returned. Father who passed in jail, hospital, rehab. So it could be the Divine Masculine or this father person. The Divine Masculine's father or the Divine Masculine's kids visiting him. Give your relationships a chance. I was getting literally first, before the Munchausen stuff came up, that the karmic is feeding the Divine Masculine alcohol or mixing potions or love spells to control them. So there's all these different scenarios to block the Divine Feminine. Okay, so she's either getting him drunk on purpose, and like I said, either making spells, so someone who practices Wiccan or voodoo or any of these kind of things might be doing spells to try to control him, as well as someone with Munchausen's who literally may be poisoning his food or a relative or a friend or kids, some kind of situation like that, okay? So it's very important. In order to block out the divine feminine, there's this jealous rage coming up in this situation. And I was getting the black cat too, which is, the witch thing. So, and again, not all the karmics are evil. So there's only certain situations, all right? And on one side of the truth, on one side of divine masculine is the truth, the other side is poison. I was literally getting poisoning him to get the insurance, or maybe a divine masculine is already saying he's leaving and they're still living together. So it could be a situation where she wants to get the insurance, so she wants to, because she's worried about her stability after leaving the relationship and wants the insurance money. But relationship change was definitely coming up. The Knight of Pentacles, hesitating at work after, maybe hesitating at work after hearing something, or hearing this, or him looking around corners to see what's going on, or him spying on people at work to make sure they're doing what they're doing. But this is definitely divine masculine working, okay? Holding back, or maybe if he's out of work, it could be people who work for him that he put in charge, who he's worried about doing what they need to do. Holding back passions, letting go of money in final judgment. And then recently for divine masculine, it's like the heavens opened up that, So it was very literal, with judgment, the light rays shining down on him, and then a flame literally underneath. So it was huge. Eureka moment. The heaven gates open to reveal disconnect for the King of Cups fighting with dysfunctional family. So I don't know that the King of Cups is necessarily divine feminine, but the King of Cups is also coming up in this. We have, for the divine masculine, was abundance and shadow for the majors, which is the devil and the empress. 3 wands, 2 cups, 3 swords, and 1 pentacle. And the characters were the main characters from the main read were King of Swords, King of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and number 5, so big change, okay, and that's all there was, no double digits, it was just number 5, and it was done at 10:33, and that's all about the Christ vibration, and 17, okay, healing and having your dreams come true. So I was literally getting, so this moment's revealing this disconnect for the King of Cups fighting with dysfunctional families, or losing family money. Someone might be spending money, an alcoholic might be spending money, or they could just be dysfunctional personality-wise, or whatever the situation is. But free from the dungeon of death after some kind of injustice for the twins or the children, and the divine masculine seeing the light. The King of Swords is weak and tripping up. This is definitely where I saw him dizzy, falling down due to a karmic, running him ragged, unhappy, and without power, losing money like I said, with dysfunctional family. But also he could be tripping up, like I said, if someone's poisoned, they're going to trip up. If they're drunk, they're going to trip up. If they're, any of those situations where they need to go to jail or rehab or the hospital, they could literally just be sick, okay? So the challenge is this abundance energy. I believe it was reversed, but it was, it's like finding abundance in the aftermath of manipulation and an over-emotional water sign. This energy doesn't have to be a water sign person, but it's the energies of being over-emotional and very manipulative, with someone with huge insecurities and very bad luck at this point, obviously. Possibly the karmic or a mother figure interfering. Definitely, again, getting the karmic mixing drinks, poisons, or potions lovingly. So this person could seem like the most wonderful person doting, someone that treats you like a child, so you want to slap them after a while because they're disrespecting you. That was just to give you the imagery of that. But it could be someone who comes off to everyone else as being the kindest, most sweetest person, but that's the way Munchausen comes off, because they want attention. So if that comes up for anyone, please comment below, or please intervene if you know something like that going on. So this, it was coming up as this karmic doing this lovingly while the Hermit sheds light on this, or holds the light for them. So there could be someone who may be helping them, hopefully not, or unknowingly helping them, okay? And then this karmic talking or expressing behind the Divine Feminine's back, or their Divine Masculine back. The Divine Masculine's back gossiping. So this King of Cups energy is coming up as staying present in bad luck, with the King of Wands choosing a path of judgment. And there's divine intervention going on there, letting go of wounds, splitting hairs. So the King of Cups, King of Wands, whichever you see your Divine Masculine as, it doesn't really matter. They were right next to each other going on with this. But there's something between the two, like going in their separate directions. So it could be a partnership breaking up, brothers breaking up, but a major divine intervention. Splitting hairs was coming up on a wing and a prayer. The heavens are wide open. Heaven's gates are open wide. Attention has been paid. This is what it's like, a forceful energy, the God energy. King of Cups, love at work. So the karmic is making nice to the Divine Masculine, meanwhile spreading rumors of love offer, maybe stuff about the Divine Feminine, and pretending to put the past behind with the Divine Masculine in a show or a display, and then getting drunk and fighting. So she says, you know, that she's doing this all for her lover and for the family, okay? But all of this is happening behind the scenes. He is meditating or resting about all of this, betrayal, back pain. It could just be trying to end pain, up at night and rising above for the Divine Masculine. Literally pay attention to the red flags, to the synchronicities, signs and synchronicities for the Divine Masculine. And wedding energy was coming up and true love energy was coming up. Around him, the Knight of Pentacles is dropping burdens, confessing, letting go of stuff to see what is left. Like what savings he might left, or what in his life does he have left? What does he have to offer now? Negative self-talk at work and or child won't be quiet at work, or someone stalking him at work, but also could be just slander at work. The Divine Masculine needs to clear blocks of anything having to do with fear and shadow and codependency. Freedom, faith, his views on God, his views on judgment, his views on angels, status, money, and religion. And forgiveness was big. That's all that came up as in the numerology deck was forgiveness. And really super important right now. The harsh truth of protecting himself. The truth is out. Some may be having pain in their calves and ankles from maybe just physically working too much, but I was seeing calves and ankles, so if that means something to someone, let me know. And family fighting, giving to everyone. So this is for Divine Masculine. His family's been fighting, he's been giving to everyone, doing everything, and then dealing with him feeling like a prisoner and knowing this Divine Feminine's a prisoner, like a prisoner of war, due to heartbreak, due to the Divine Masculine's own brain wars, so their own, war within their thoughts, within their self and with others. Impatience and anger in the legs was also coming up, so if they're having pain, it's because of the impatience and anger within them that they need to release. Feeling destroyed by this Empress reverse and jealousy. Walking away from impatience and the bad-tempered people in his life and hang-ups in his life to a new passion, new life, going to fix things with the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Or the Divine Feminine energy. It was just it's not about an earth sign, it's just about grounded energy. So it was just 33-33, and I'm going to pull some cards. It was 33-33 and 33-44 just passed. And I'll pull some really quick cards for you guys. The Ascension deck. So for the Organic Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, Twin Flames, what is the advice today? Please give us some important advice. What is the advice? Okay, we have Archangel Metatron again. And then we have the Mahatma energy at the bottom, which is number 6. Okay, and that's number 6 is, of course, love. Very simply stated, love, family, community. The affirmation is, I invoke the Mahatma energy to flow through me. And that's the Buddha Christ light of the 12th ray, or the 12 rays. And that's interesting because that's the rays in my card that shine down that moment. There's 6 rays in that picture. Okay, so it's relating back to that for us, that what the heaven's gates have been opened to the divine masculine. It's that golden white energy, to draw it in through your chakra. So you've been guided to use the golden white energy to raise your frequency and help and leave those golden white footsteps wherever you go. That's the underlying energy. And then Metatron is 27. 27 is the Ace of Wands. That's that new passion energy. Okay. And it says 27 is a 9 of universal selflessness and compassion and endings. So it's definitely endings energy. You're blessed to receive this card, for the mighty universal angel Metatron, who is coordinating the ascension of the planet, is touching you. He is illuminating your aura with his golden orange light as he works with your stellar gateway chakra. Okay, and we just talked about the stellar gateway yesterday, the galactic gateways, and Metatron has been coming up all week, and he's also, for me, always been seen as overseeing the divine masculines, the twin flames. Your message is to relax and allow Metatron's wings to enfold you. Ask to visit him at his ascension retreat in Luxor during meditation or sleep so that you can receive his guidance. This may come as a thought, whisper, or feeling. When you ask sincerely for help on your ascension journey, Metatron will open new doors for you and guide you. And the affirmation is, I attune to Archangel Metatron today. Okay. And then the past life deck, like we always do, for the organic divine masculines and feminines. Organic divine masculines and feminines. Monk or nun. Okay, so release any vows. Pray. Pray for the divine masculine. Asia is at the bottom of the deck. Okay, protect your heart and your solar plexus. Have confidence, but stand your ground. Okay. Be in your sovereignty. I mean, she's very sovereign. It's all about that yellow solar plexus energy. And we just talked about the Christ gold light and the golden and white light and the gold and silver light. It's been coming up. So using these gold and white lights to clear yourself and maybe send that energy to your twin as well. And the Orient's coming up. Just got the Orient Express. So something might be coming quickly. Somebody might be going to the Orient. And then again, I wanted to show you this again that came out, the monk or nun. And that simply came out by itself. Pray. Use your hands. Eat properly too. I was getting... use your hands. Be aware of your hands' abilities. The chakras in your hands, open them up to use them. Use them for yourself as well, okay? You have a lot of energy within your hands. You're a healer. And make sure to cut all your cords, especially of vows of chastity and all that kind of stuff, okay? And then the journey of love. I'm getting I was just reminded. Oh, good one. In my energy book, and I'm showing for heart attacks really quick. A little boy in the energy book, when someone had a heart attack and they couldn't revive him, this little boy who didn't know what to do spontaneously ran to this person who just had a heart attack and bit on the tips of the pinkies, which is the energy line to the heart, and revived him. And I was just being shown. You see how the pinkies are sticking out here? So it's reminding me to say that to you, which I wasn't even thinking about today. So that's important for someone. If someone's having a heart attack, by biting on the very tip of the pinkies, it's the energetic heart line to the heart. The energetic line, yeah. And that's from an energy medicine book, okay? That's Donna... Yeah, that's Donna Eden's book, Eden, Garden of Eden. So, that's a message for you. The poison apple and the Garden of Eden. Okay, so this stuff is real. And I know, I've talked to twins who've had, horrific experiences, okay? So, this is for the journey of love for the organic, divine feminine and divine masculine twin flames. What is the advice for them today? Today, this August 17, 2018. Oh, it came right out. And this one was exposed. So I'm going to show you that one. Oh, they were exposed. Okay. Well, I think it needs to be seen anyway. So. Okay. So the bottom is the Mother Prays. It's number 15, which is the devil, okay? And you just have the card of praying. The mother prays. It's just saying the underlying energy. Use your upper chakras, right? Because this is throat, third eye, and crown. To come together. You have two heads coming together there to fix the brokenness between you. Send some of that loving energy to your twin through your cord. The mother prays. You call in Mother Mary as well is coming up. Okay, it's just the shadow energies, but it is 6. 15 is a 6, remember. It's still in line with love. The card that popped out that definitely needed to be seen was Seed of the Heart. Okay. And that is number 25, which is the Knight of Wands. So very passionate energy, because we already got the Ace of Wands. And then the card that was, I thought was flipped up, but not, but I was seeing it as important, so I'm going to show it as the Heart Fire, which is also number 1, which is the Magician. And you see that golden light popping out from the rose. Okay, the Heart Fire. It's all about passion here. You know, what can be more passionate? This card is the Magician. It's all red and gold. So there's huge fire here, there's fire here, there's fire there. Even though the colors aren't necessarily fire in the other cards, the energies are coming up regarding wand energy. So I'm going to read you the Seed of the Heart, number 25. The Seed of the Heart says, within each one of us is a divine seed of love, waiting to blossom into fullness. We don't always know what type of blossom we shall be, however, and sometimes if we try to figure it out in advance, the blossoming itself can cause us anxiety, pain, or fear because it's taking us in an unknown, unexpected direction. We may even fear that the direction we're heading away from is our life path and purpose, as if that were even possible. The seed in the heart arises as guidance when we are unfolding in a new manifestation of the divine light within. It comes as encouragement to trust, to surrender, to allow, and to be as open, unthinking, and ready for the unexpected as possible. A plant just needs the right conditions to grow healthy, and if you have ever seen a blade of grass pushing up through a crack in the pavement, then you'll know why, when something is meant to grow in the light, it will do so, even against the most apparently insurmountable odds. This oracle brings you guidance. The right conditions are being brought to you, the most perfect support for your own divine blossoming. Trust. Know that the seed in your heart knows how to grow, and life supports it. It is also a sign that something in your relationships is sprouting and Spirit's connecting with me. A new energy. Don't be afraid to try new ways of relating now, as your life energy supports it. And the poem simply reads, when sky can imagine the dark awake, in awe light pervades, and bears the vast tranquil mystery, softly caressing the blue, bold birth. Okay? So really beautiful. I just wanted to come in quickly to get this read done for you today because of those messages. So make sure you alert anyone who you may be suspicious of in this scenario. But don't go into fear about it. Just be aware and observe and help someone who may need it. Okay? Drink your water, be healthy, get your rest, get out in nature, and rise and be loved. Love you guys. Bye. Have a great day.